It's Friday, July 18th.
Let's
Gentleman's
release
time has
the
expired.
real Epstein file.
U.S. President Donald Trump orders the release of Jeffrey Epstein court documents after a Wall Street Journal report.
He's got to come up with some commitments, firm commitments.
I don't think we've gotten to a place where you're going to see any agreement come out of this.
Bill's C5 summit, mixed reaction from First Nations leaders to Ottawa's new major projects law after meeting with Prime Minister Mark Carney.
Unfortunately, our neighbors to the north have been pretty difficult to deal with when it comes to matters on trade.
Trade talks. The White House criticizing Canada as both countries try to make a deal by August 1st.
Yeah, I share your feelings.
After more than 30 years on air, Stephen Colbert says CBS will be turning the lights off at The Late Show next year. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your morning, everybody. Anne-Marie's away today. I'm Lindsey Deluce.
And therefore, I'm Teddy Wilson. Happy Friday. Good morning. Hope you're great, Canada.
Woo!
Yeah.
And I'm Michelle Jobin, and I hope all those things for you as well. Great to see you, Teddy.
Well, yeah, good to see you
Happy
too.
Friday, yeah.
This is wild.
It is.
Two of the three national treasures are away today. So we got Lindsay the Legend in the
You're
middle.
stuck with
There
me.
The
Sorry.
replacement killers on the extremities. There we go.
The three of us haven't been back together in a while.
I feel like it was last summer,
I think
perhaps.
so, too.
Yeah, good times. Looking forward to the Friday.
Yeah.
I know what you did
Summer.
last summer.
What?
Speaking of that,
You did.
the reboot is out. Rad's going to be
Yeah.
on the show today to tell us what he thinks about this reboot.
I'm stoked for this.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear what he has to say about it. Love the original.
All right.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, let's turn to some of the top news headlines we're following for you this morning. U.S. President Donald Trump has ordered the release of more documents related to Jeffrey Epstein as he faces more calls for transparency.
There says all credible documents, records, and communications. Well, who's going to decide that? Attorney General Bondi in conjunction with Donald Trump.
The fact of the matter is, they know
The House of Representatives debated through the night a bill to cut $9 billion in funding to foreign aid and public broadcasting. Voting was delayed for hours as Republicans and Democrats argued over the handling of the Epstein files. And in response to the pressure, President Trump has ordered Attorney General Pam Bondi to release grand jury testimony from the Epstein case. This comes on the heels of a report from the Wall Street Journal saying a note with President Trump's name on it and a lewd drawing was part of a collection of letters sent to Epstein for his 50th birthday back in 2003. Trump has denied the reporting, saying on a social media post, quote, "The Wall Street Journal printed a fake letter, supposedly to Epstein. These are not my words, not the way I talk. Also, I don't draw pictures." Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe is inviting all premiers to join the New West Partnership trade agreement.
We should essentially move the New West Partnership into that space of the Canada Free Trade Agreement, and it would provide, I think, greater opportunities to strengthen companies.
The agreement has been around since 2010 between British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. Manitoba joined in 2017. Moe says having others sign on to the agreement would boost internal trade, promote economic cooperation, and reduce red tape across provincial borders. Some provinces and territories have already passed and signed agreements around reducing internal trade barriers. The White House is taking new shots at Canada with just 2 weeks until the August 1st deadline to make a trade deal with the U.S.
The trade team continues to be very active in our conversations and discussions with Canada. The president himself has said, unfortunately, our neighbors to the north have been pretty difficult to deal with when it comes to matters on trade.
Last week, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened 35% tariffs on Canadian goods starting August 1st. Canadian officials have said they're working extremely hard behind closed doors to make a trade deal with the U.S. The Prime Minister has also warned any deal is likely to include some tariffs. Meanwhile, Industry Minister Melanie Joly says government intervention will be necessary for the Canadian steel industry's survival. This as American tariffs threaten it. In March, the United States placed a 25% tariff on Canadian steel and aluminum. They doubled that rate in June. Earlier this week, Ottawa added new measures to help the industry, announcing tariff targets targeting steel originating in other countries, this in order to protect the Canadian market. Jolie says she hopes it will, quote, calm down the anxiety in the steel sector. Well, some First Nations leaders say they're cautiously optimistic after a summit with Prime Minister Mark Carney on Thursday. But they raise concerns over Ottawa's controversial new law to fast-track some national projects.
I'm glad that the Prime Minister and Cabinet Minister stayed all day, but still, I think the way the legislation is crafted, there's, as we heard today from many chiefs, there's still a lot of trust issues.
Prime Minister Carney opened the summit saying he stood by his law, but is also ready to listen. Many chiefs are upset over Bill C-5, which gives Cabinet power to speed up projects like pipelines, saying their rights were not respected when Ottawa passed the bill last month. Views on what the Prime Minister Carney had to say are varied, but most agree his actions are what matters most. The government has said it's committed to further engagement with Indigenous communities, but says it plans to get the new Major Projects Approval Office up and running by Labor Day. Manitoba has officially ended its search of a landfill for the remains of 2 murdered First Nations women. The remains of Morgan Harris and Mercedes Myron were found at Prairie Green Landfill back in February. Private ceremonies were held with their families, this in honor of the 2 women. The province plans to search the Brady Road landfill next for the remains of murdered Indigenous woman Ashley Shingoose. That search is expected to start soon. Well, the Canada Strong Pass just got a little stronger. The pass has been expanded to give children free admission to dozens of provincial and territorial museums and galleries. The pass already allows kids to get into national museums for free. Other perks of the Canada Strong Pass include free admission to national parks, a discount on camping fees, and Via Rail discounts. Trains are cool. The program runs until September 2nd. Well, as you may have heard, a late-night institution is coming to an end.
I want to let you know something that I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May. And
so Stephen Colbert broke the news last night that his show will be canceled by May next year. But he wasn't only talking about his turn as host. He said the Late Show franchise is coming to an end. CBS calls the move a, quote, purely financial decision. This comes just weeks after its parent company, Paramount, settled a lawsuit with President Trump over a 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris. Stephen Colbert took over The Late Show from David Letterman, who moved to CBS in 1993. Well, the dog days of summer are happening in Windsor, Ontario this weekend. Woof, woof.
Our goal is to try to get as much as we possibly can to donate to the Humane Society and the St. John's Ambulance Therapy Dogs.
The event is a celebration of humans' best friend. It includes a doggy fashion show and an obedience competition. There's also entertainment and food trucks. It's also free. I love free. But donations are welcome to help with the therapy dog program. So you save a couple bucks by going, but then donate to that great cause. I am the type of non-dog owner who grew up with dogs, would love to have a dog, but we downtown living in a small condo, like to travel, so can't do it. So every year I go to Woofstock here in Toronto. And I'm the weird dude without the dog, like asking people if I can pet their dog.